We're wondering where this guy was, and he is back.
I'm back. It feels so good to be back.
Yeah.
And I have to say, like, so the beginning of my vacation last week, I didn't want to be off.
I know, that's what
I
you
was like,
said.
oh, I just want to keep coming to work. I have so much fun with you guys. And then by the end of the week, like last night, I was like, I gotta iron a shirt. I gotta go to work tomorrow morning.
I told you, you're gonna enjoy yourself, and you did.
You kind of do get in that sort of like just relaxed vibe.
Yes.
So it's interesting to be back at work, but I'm back.
Well, I have to tell you, usually for our weekend rewind, I don't have much to share. I just usually have some family pictures, but
You had a great weekend.
I was like a young gal all over again. We just called this date night weekend, double date night. We had a whole weekend full of dates, so we
Good
had a
for
lot of
you.
fun. I know, we don't normally do this. Starting with Friday night. Listen, Frankie
Look at
surprised.
this couple. Look how attractive this couple is.
I know. Isn't he so handsome?
Yes, he
Frankie
is
so
handsome.
handsome. So Frankie surprised me with tickets to go see Jim Gaffigan at PPG Paints Arena, and it was so fun. But beforehand, we stopped at this little bar called Shales, and then we went back afterward. After
You went
the
back
show.
after the show.
Yes, because we had so much fun. We had such a great time hanging out there. We were kind of like in college again. Did you know that peanut butter vodka is a thing?
Peanut
butter.
What did you just say?
Peanut butter vodka.
Okay, no, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's well, neither
And
had
is it-
I because
is it
I'm not in
good?
my
Would you
20s
recommend
anymore.
it?
I would not recommend it the next day.
Okay.
The next day was not an easy day for us. But I cured everything by going to brunch with the ladies at KDKA.
Oh, awesome.
So shout out to Shelby Cassesi. I always say her last name right. Cassesi?
Cassesi.
Thank you. Shelby Cassesi, who is one of our newest reporters here. She organized this fantastic gathering of some of the women who work here at KDKA. So we
That
went down
is
to
so
the
cool.
Commoner. I had something called the recovery shot.
Which is what you needed, right?
Right, and it's not alcohol. It was turmeric, ginger, some juices.
Turmeric is good for you.
It did not smell great, but it worked.
It worked?
It
Feeling
worked.
better?
Yes, and
Good.
then now I can't remember what else we did. Oh, here we go.
Is this Lamont? Where is this?
Yes, we went to the Lamont. We had a fundraiser for Lila's school. They were celebrating 95 years of St. Bernard's School. And so this was the first time they've done this gala, and it was at the Lamont. And we had such a great time. And it was nice getting to know some of the other parents, some of the alumni. They had silent auctions and something called a wine pool. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
So they have a basket full of corks.
Yeah.
And you pick a cork out, and there's a number on the cork. And the cork corresponds with a bottle. And they range
And
in
then you
value.
get that bottle.
So you at least get your money's worth in the bottle of wine, but then you have,
Right.
some that are a little bit more expensive. So
Wow. See,
Yeah.
I've learned about the wine pull and peanut butter vodka.
who knew, right?
Who knew? The things I learned from this program and Heather Abraham.
So tell me all about Canada. I
All
want
right,
to learn
well,
something.
So first, my first picture actually has nothing to do with Canada. It's a tale of woe. So I wound up at the ophthalmologist.
Oh, you told me
after.
this.
So Heather recommended a show that I should binge watch, and I started watching it, and then I fell asleep watching it, and fell asleep with my contacts in. So I woke
hate
up,
that.
and it was this was scary. I woke up, and it was like there was Vaseline on my eyes, and you couldn't rub it out. You couldn't, So I mean, I wound up going to the eye doctor, and I said, I can remember in my 20s, I fell asleep with my contacts, and she said, "You're not in your 20s anymore, David." But I had swollen corneas.
Oh, my
I had to
gosh.
have eye drops. Couldn't wear contacts for a week.
That's terrible.
So just a cautionary tale: do not fall asleep with your contacts, especially if you're out of your 20s.
Right.
Apparently.
Don't
Yeah.
do that.
Don't do that. But then we went to Niagara Falls. Just for 2
fun.
nights.
You
Just
guys
for 2
love
nights.
this.
It's our little quick getaway. And this is what it looked like. Now, sometimes at this point in the year, the river below has snow on it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that because it's a little warmer this year, but there's ice all over and it's
Yeah,
beautiful because the mist
beautiful.
comes up, it freezes, and then I think we have some video that I want to show you, and I'll explain to you what was happening in the video. So I got all artsy. Look at this.
Wow.
Coming up from the little gate there, the fence, moving up over top. But while this was happening, the mist, I've never seen it like this. So normally the mist is like, oh, how refreshing, some mist. This was like gale force winds were blowing cold wetness into your face, and it was stinging your face.
It was
like
terrible.
some sort of NASA test track to see if you have the stamina to go into outer space. It was
Not fun.
literally, I was out long enough to shoot that video, and then we ran back in the building.
Oh, but it looks beautiful. So
Yeah,
we appreciate you capturing that for us.
It was
David.
pretty. And now this has become a thing. Everywhere I go, I have to order chicken parm. because of this one.
Yes, it's so good.
I have the bug for this now. So we ordered chicken parm. Not as good as the one in New York City a couple months ago, but
Yes.
this was fantastic too.
Do you know that I haven't had chicken parm since our parmathon? And not for any other reason other than I can't really go out to restaurants with 3 children anymore.
We should bring chicken parm to you.
Okay.
We should have like a come to
Okay.
Heather's house with chicken parm.
I'm in. That works for me.
And then one more picture I want to share with you, and that is from Saturday. And so this is my Aunt Pat. This is the
love
Aunt Pat
Aunt
that
Pat.
makes the noodles.
Yes.
And this is my cousin Sue. And so we went to Mount Washington to celebrate Aunt Pat's birthday, and we had a wonderful time.
Oh, how nice.
I love you both.
We've
It was
seen them
great.
in pictures quite a bit.
Yes. And
Sue
someday
especially.
we'll get your noodles too.
Can't wait
Yeah,
for that.
we'll
All
get-
right, we have something really exciting to share because one of our own has broken a world record.
Yeah,
Frizzy.
this is really cool.
Yes.
And he must be worn out.
I'm sure he's still sleeping. So this was the countdown to, I think it was 31 hours. Is that how long he was supposed to
Yeah.
go? Okay, so he broke the record. Unofficial time, 3 hours and 52 seconds. Has to be verified by Guinness. I think that's how long he was over.
Oh, that's
31.
how long he was over the
Yes.
31 hours. Now, this is my question, so was he able to repeat any of the rap, or did he have to continuously come up with, is that part of the freestyle thing?
So they said leading up to this that people in the audience, whoever was stopping by and shopping at the Block Northway, could give him suggestions. So I think along the way, I did see a video on Instagram that Mikey had stopped by.
Yeah, she talked about this.
Right? And so I think that he even had a special little rap for PTL.
That's awesome. Well,
need
thank
to-
you, Frizzy,
I
and
don't know how much-
congratulations.
I know, it's really cool.
Hopefully the Guinness people will verify it and he'll have a world record.
I hope so.
Yeah.
We have something else really sweet to share with you. This was an engagement, and we start to see these these proposals make it viral, a lot of people spreading them. This one was really neat. This was a filmmaker, his name is Lee, based out in LA, and he decided to edit in his own portion into her favorite movie, Sleeping Beauty.
Clearly he has some friends who's able to do this because the 2 characters, Sleeping Beauty and the Prince, look exactly like
Right.
them, just cartoon versions. Yeah.
Right.
And so she realizes that, and then in the little film, the prince pulls out a ring.
Yes, so lights turn on. He proposes, gets down on one knee, gives his whole spiel, proposes to her. Audience starts clapping in the theater. She discovers that her family and friends are sitting in the theater.
Everyone was in on it.
It's so
Yeah.
neat. Yeah.
Well, and what was cool too is like, I don't know how they timed it out, but if you watch, like, it took her a while to say yes. She did say yes. We should say that. But somehow they timed it out because then they had like the fairy princesses all clapping
Right.
at the right moment, like, yeah,
So
she said
neat.
yes. It was really cool.
Could you imagine
So-
saying no after a proposal like that? It took him 6 months to edit that video. Could you imagine if she would have said no?
That would have been bad.
That would have been very bad.
All right, well, something that's happening today that people have been talking about. The Royals are having a meeting because they don't know what to do at this point, but they're having an emergency meeting. And, it came out last week, of course, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced, in defiance of the Queen's wishes, I might add, that they're going to step back from their royal duties, at least to some extent, seek financial independence, and split their time between Britain and North America. So now it seems like no one is happy in the royal family, and they're having this meeting to figure out what happens now. What about the tax dollars that fund them?
Right.
You
and
know,
they need security and they need,
Right.
yeah. Meghan is actually in Canada right now.
I know. and
With
they-
Archie.
They were talking about this in Toronto. They were very excited because I watched the Toronto News in Niagara Falls.
Well, are they so excited they're going to foot the bill for security for them?
Well, no, they didn't talk about that, but they did talk about like, oh, is she, because she had an apartment there when she was in Suits. That's where they filmed Suits. And then they thought, well, are they going to come back when they say North America? Do they mean LA or do they mean Toronto? And right
Yeah.
now she's in Toronto, so we'll see.
I do wonder, the only thing that we got last week was that they wanted to start this new chapter, they wanted to launch this new charity. Aside from that, I think that what they're really seeking is probably more privacy and
I
living
think
their
so,
own
too.
lives.
And I mean, you kind of understand that, and at the same time, I mean, I think that people, especially in Britain, expect a certain, expect the royals to carry out certain duties.
Well,
and we shall see how it all shakes out.
One interesting thing that I had read is that Meghan, being a royal now, member of the royal family, and Archie bring diversity to
That's true,
the
too.
royal family, and that's
true,
not something that you typically we haven't seen. So there were some people talking about that too. So a lot to discuss. We'll see what happens
we'll
today.
see how their meeting goes.
Yeah.
We'll keep you posted, whatever we find out.